Okay, we're recording. So anyway, Sonia Dudley is a diamond in our company, and she is super relatable, super awesome. She's very much a people person. I mean, she's the kind of person that would say, I need you to drink this Kool-Aid and we're all going to jump off this cliff. And I'd be like, give me the cup. I mean, she's amazing. She can like win anyone over. So she came to see us in March of last year in Tennessee. And Heather came up for it, and Heather's sister came up, and we listened to her, and I took copious notes on it because I think she is so relatable to people who, I mean, shake your head, Sherry, if you agree with me. Don't you think she is? Like, she's so amazing. Like, she's super, super amazing. So I went through the notes that I had taken from her and wanted to kind of talk. It's going to kind of jump all over the place. And then we're going to have Sherry talk about converting customers to ambassadors or retail customers to preferred, that kind of thing. But I want to kind of go through this. We are always, I guess for me now, having listened to Sonia so much, I sort of listen for people. Like on Facebook, I listen for those, or watch, read, whatever. Listen for those buzzwords. Like, I'm so tired today. I did not sleep at all. Or if you're in the store and you hear someone just talking about, oh my gosh, if I could just get 8 hours of sleep, like my ears kind of perk up. And I don't run over there and shove my card in their face and shove a catalog in their purse. But I really want you to sort of take it from a relationship status and sort of a like, if someone was drowning and you had a life preserver and you're standing on the bank, are you just going to be like, nah, no, not today. I'm not going to give that to them. I'm just going to kind of let them go. You want to sort of just be there for them and kind of listen for little buzzwords or whatever. So some of these things are kind of, like I said, they're sort of jumping all over the board. One thing that she said to me that kind of stuck out, because this was kind of, it wasn't early on my career, but it was last year and I wasn't where I am today, is to just feel the fear and just do it anyway. When you're afraid to talk to someone, just do it. I mean, just say something. You don't have to say, oh my gosh, my name's Amber, I'm a Plexus ambassador, you totally need to buy this. But if you just like spark a little conversation for them, and I'm going to talk to Dina in a minute, I'm going to unmute her because we talked about this funny thing about how she kind of did that. But if you hear people, or, you see people and you're like, oh my gosh, they could totally benefit from our products. I just wish I had an in, or I wish I could do something. Well, Lori Harrison was with Sonia at that, when they came to speak. And Lori literally had been at Hobby Lobby. While she was at Hobby Lobby, she saw this woman, who was talking about being tired and stuff. And she was like, and Lori said, oh my gosh, girl, I've been there. And for Lori, this time, she didn't bring up Plexus. She sort of said, so what are you getting here at Hobby Lobby? And she was buying like some frames or something. And she was like, oh, what are you going to do? And she said, well, I'm going to do this frame wall. Remember whenever those things went out where people were doing clocks, where they were saying, at this time I got married, at this time I had this first child, at this time I had the second child. It's like clocks everywhere. So she was putting frames around those clocks. So Lori didn't know this lady at all. And she was like, oh my gosh, that sounds like such an amazing thing to do on a wall. That's amazing. She's like, would you friend request me? I would love to see what it turns out to look like. So she literally just hands her her phone and she's like, here, just go to my Facebook page and, friend request me and, or, put your name in or whatever. So she did. And so she was all about relationships. So that's kind of one way that you could sort of have an in with a new person. If you just see someone doing something, if you're at the ballpark or wherever, wherever you meet people. And so that was sort of one thing. And I'm kind of jumping through these little things. And her deal is to get to their heart, like not just, go for the sale, get to where their heart is. And, facts sell, but stories tell. And so that's kind of a thing. Story was what your life was like before Plexus and what it's done for you now and what your life looks like now. And craft a story, that tells your story. And then she was talking about posting stuff several days a week. And then some of these other key things. When you're, okay, and this is a big deal, especially with this team blowing up. If you're signing someone up who's an ambassador and they come to you and they're like, I just want to get the product as cheap as I can. Like, and you know who they are. If you know that they're going to be somebody that if they don't like the products, they're going to talk negative about them, or you think they're kind of one of those people that sort of just slam something that doesn't work for them, talk to them in the beginning and just say, look, this doesn't work for everyone, but I want, I hope it works for you. If you kind of go let me coach you and let me show you how to take the products, and just know that we can adjust stuff. I really think you'll be pleased and you'll find some positive results. So sort of keep that in mind when you're wanting to make someone be an ambassador. And then do a lot of listening. That was something I didn't do in the beginning. I sort of vomited pink on everyone. And she's saying that when we're conversing to a new person, listen a lot, ask a lot of questions. And when you're doing that, they become very vulnerable about what's going on with them, what's going on in their life, what prompted them to come to you if they approached you. So, and this is like, just to me, it's mind blowing. If it's not, you can just pretend it is, and I'll be happy when we hang up. Okay. So if someone tells you, you know, what is this Plexus stuff? This is what Sonia, her idea. She's like, oh, it's this pink drink. It's really simple. What do you have going on? So she calls that the 5-year-old answer, like to give a 5-year-old, you know, just like a little quick, like, oh, it's this great pink drink. You know, you're non-confrontational. You're asking questions. Have you ever tried Plexus? And if they say no, then say, oh, well, let me, you know, I can give you a sample. They say, well, how expensive is it? You can say, well, it just depends on what you order. It just depends. If you and your husband are on it, if you're going to have like 2 orders, like you and your husband, it just kind of depends. We can work it different ways. We have different sizes and quantities, which we all know it's just the BioCleanse that has different sizes and quantities. What do you have going on? And then just kind of wait and listen to them. And if they say, well, you know, I've been really trying to lose weight. What I do now is I'm like, oh, okay, well, do you have any heart conditions? Do you have any blood pressure issues or anything that, you know, you have going on? What kind of medicine are you on? And then they tell you, and then you ask another question. Well, let me tell you what might work for you. And then you kind of give them some ideas. And then say, well, the reason I wanted to ask you about your blood pressure is because we have a couple of products that'll help, you know, speed up your metabolism. Like I would never put someone on Boost if they were, you know, had heart issues, because I don't want their heart to explode. But so you kind of like it's sort of a relationship thing. You're not like, oh my gosh, yes, we have Slim and it's this much money. We also have this and this is going to help you lose weight. We have probiotics. Be relatable to them, you know, ask them questions about it. And then if they have specific, like kind of like what we talked about on the last Zoom, if they have specific medical conditions, you can go back to my team page and just type in the search field jackpot, and you'll find a whole bunch of testimonies that are alphabetized from like allergies all the way to, I mean, just like there's tons, and you can just click and copy and move and send those to them. And if it's someone in a store, you can say, well, let me have your email address. Let me get your phone number. Or if you have a business card, let's swap business cards and I can get back to you. And then send those to them. And Sonia always says to just always end what you're talking about with a question. So you're basically just playing ball. You're throwing the ball to them. They're throwing it back to you. You're trying to get as much information as possible to make it seem, number one, not so salesy. And number two, you're trying to figure out what they're wanting out of the products, why they approached you. Ask them what they've heard about Plexus. Have you ever heard about it? Have you ever seen someone else that's been on it? And have they had great results? Or what have you seen, you know, that made you question it? And then let's see, let me go through something else. And then the third, Sonia's deal is the third thing that people tells you is the real answer. So we're constantly needing to ask questions and peel back those layers. And so if someone says you have a shirt on and they're like, oh, what's this Plexus thing? You know, oh, it's this, you know, health and wellness company that has a bunch of products that can help people get healthy. What do you have going on? Because obviously they asked you for a reason. They're not just making small talk. So if they say, oh, I don't know, I was just curious, I hadn't, you know, heard about it. And then you can maybe say something like, oh yeah, it completely changed my life. I mean, I no longer have migraines. I lost a bunch of weight. What made you ask me? So you're kind of like doing this ping pong thing with them. And then they may come back and say, well, you know, I'm always wanting to lose weight, but I just wasn't sure. Oh, well, I have so many testimonies of great friends of mine that have lost weight. I'd be happy to email them to you. What are you looking for? And so do you see how it kind of switches it around to where you're not like, like machine gunning at them and they're like, okay, never mind. I'm sorry I asked. So you're being relatable. You're genuinely concerned because we all want to help people with our products. So, and then another thing she said is we can't give people the will. So, you know, don't beat a dead horse, go get a new one. So if the person's just like, oh, okay, I was just curious. I saw your shirt. I wasn't sure. Don't chase them down in the parking lot. You know, just let them go. Like they're just clearly making small talk. And so another thing she said, if you keep doing what you're doing, are you going to get the results that you want? So kind of evaluate how you are right now. Clearly this team is exploding, so you all are doing the right thing, but keeping the momentum is kind of the hard part, I think. So, and then also don't project your own insecurities onto someone else. If you were afraid that it wasn't going to work for you, don't say, oh my gosh, I know. I was like, I mean, hopefully it works for you. Like, I really hope it does. I'll be upset if it doesn't. I mean, don't be like that. Just say, I understand your concern. You know, I was really skeptical in the beginning, but what put me over the edge was that 60-day guarantee. Like, that was just like awesome. If this doesn't work, like all the other things I've tried, at least I'm going to get my money back. Right. And that's a big selling point for some people. They want to know that they can have their money back. And if we're insecure about something, just don't try to assume they are, because they may not be. And then let's see, what are also some other things that I talked about? Let's see. And then tell them your why. Like, we talked about this on the last Zoom about the little 30 minute when you like drive them off with 30 minutes, 30-second little elevator speech, like something really quick, and for me, it's kind of like, oh, I started Plexus because I couldn't get the baby weight off after my second child. And I found out that it totally worked for me. I lost all of this weight. My migraine headaches went away. I was having to have injections with. I have friends that have had like rheumatoid arthritis that have gotten off their medication. I have diabetics that no longer are on insulin. This is a great product. So what are you wanting to do? What are your health goals? So you're kind of giving them some background, but you're also wanting to hear what they want to hear. Because I know a lot of people in the beginning, you're kind of, especially in other MLMs, they're all about reaching their goals, and we sort of overlook what those customers' needs are. We're kind of like, oh my gosh, I just need 100 more in PV, and then I'm going to get that. I'm going to win that, team prize or whatever it is. So try to be relatable and continue those relationships with people. And then you can tell them your quick little why, and make yourself vulnerable and just be real with people. Let's see, some other stuff. And then don't take it personal. I know that's a big thing that I just like to cover that a lot because it's really hard. Like, I've had level ones who have talked about Plexus to people, and then they get the email that says, no, I'm not interested. I appreciate it. Don't take it personal. Just like, move on and be like, okay, I'm going to put them on my list. I'm going to make a little note that they said they weren't ready yet. And then just go back to them and just continue that relationship with them. I have a level 2 who's not on this call, but she had a lot of people jump ship who were ambassadors and went to a different health and wellness MLM. And she called me. She's like, I don't know what to do. I mean, there's like 3 of them and they're just gone. They're not doing Plexus anymore. They're just gone. They don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, okay, here's the deal. Number 1, it's not about you. It's about them. And I think statistically, those sort of people are wanting that quick fix. They're not wanting that healthy from the inside out. They're looking at those people who are all of a sudden having great results, and maybe they're thinking, okay, well, Plexus didn't work for me, so I'm going to try something else. And they hop to something else. That's totally fine. You don't have to crucify them. You don't have to just, excommunicate them. Shoot them an email if they come to you and or like, let's say that Sherry was my customer, and all of a sudden I noticed she canceled her order, her preferred status. I'd probably just shoot her a quick text and say, hey Sherry, I was looking in my back office and I saw that you canceled your preferred status. Is everything okay? And then she might say something like, yeah, it just wasn't working for me. I tried it for 4 months. It's not working. I decided to go with XYZ. So you know what I'm going to say to her? I'm not going to be like, okay, cool, and then hang up the phone and be mad and unfriend her and block her and hate her guts. I'm probably going to send her a message and go, oh, okay, well, you know where to find me if you ever change your mind. Good luck. I hope you have great success, and, let me know if you need anything. And continue that relationship. 2 months down the road, you see that she posts something with that other company. I've lost 10 pounds. I'm so proud of myself. Shoot her a message and say, hey, I just saw your weight loss that you had. That's great. I'm so proud of you. Because you know what you're doing? You're not only being a good person, which is what we all should try to be, but you're also setting up that relationship so that if in 6 months she decides, you know what, this isn't what it was cracked up to be. I lost 10 pounds and now I've gained 20. And with Plexus, at least I saw some results. You're keeping that relationship so that she knows, oh, you know what? She's been continually being nice to me and cheering me on in whatever my health and wellness goals are. And guess what? I really think Plexus was the thing that I should have stayed with. So I'm going to message her, and I don't think she's going to be judgmental. I think she's going to be there for me. So that's what I told this level 2. I was like, I know you've lost 3 people. I know they all went to the same company. All you can do is cheer them on, be proud of them, be excited for them, and be nice about it. Because if you feel like you can't do that, then you're in the wrong mindset, because it's all about the people. It's not about let me see how much money I can make and how many steps up the ladder I can go. We really want people to be healthy. And if they find it with someone else, fine, but be here for them if they decide to come back. Because I think a lot of us who have been in the business long enough have seen that people do come back. They order for 3 months and maybe they weren't consistent. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, you'll see either them place an order, or they might message you and say, hey, I've been seeing your post about Plexus. tell me what to do to get back in the swing of things. And Plexus sometimes will offer those little postcards they send out to former customers who haven't ordered in a while, giving them an incentive and a coupon code. And so sometimes that will bring them back. So just try to maintain those relationships and not take it personal. And then let's see. And another thing I wanted to stress that we hardly talk about is doing the right thing, even if it's hard. If you have someone who messages you and says, hey, I noticed that you also do Plexus. I've been talking to this girlfriend of mine that I went to high school with, and she's been telling me all about this Plexus stuff, but it looks like you've lost so much more weight than her, or you've had a lot of success. I would love to order. You know what we should do? And I'm not sure if this is something that is, pushed a lot. And Sherry, I don't think it really is, but it's really something we should. You need to tell them to go back to that person. You need to say, oh, really? Well, go back to your friend Lisa, who you went to high school with. I would never want to take a customer away from someone else. Message her and tell her. And I have a family member, literally with my same last maiden name, who asked me all sorts of stuff about Plexus. And I cannot even tell you the amount of time I spent talking to them about Plexus. And she, I followed up with her. I was like, hey, are you ready to order? Well, I ordered from somebody at work. And I was like, oh, awesome. That's awesome. That's just great. And I was so upset. And I'm thinking, I cannot believe you married my cousin and you ordered from somebody at work and, whatever. And I got really upset about it. But in the end, I thought, whatever. She's on the products. If it's working for her, that's awesome. So try to do the right thing even when it feels wrong. Like when you're thinking, oh my gosh, I would love that sale. Like I know she would be amazing. Ask her to go back to that first person. That's why you'll see a lot of caveats on these posts from ambassadors saying, I would love to work with you, but only if you're not working with another ambassador. It's just the right thing to do. And then let's see. Sorry, I'm just kind of going through these. Oh, a bunch of tips that Lori Harrison has is to save your website link in your notes, so that if someone messages you and you're like out shopping and you're like, oh my gosh, save it in your notes so that you can just copy it. If you have an iPhone, just, save that link in there. If someone like kind of write out your little script for what Plexus is, or if someone asks you the general question, like, what is this Plexus stuff? How much is it? People comment on a wall about that. And we know we can't talk about the price on Facebook, but we can send them a message. So like make a little, type up a little comment thing about what Plexus means to you, something quick. And then here's my website. I'd be happy to help you, and just kind of keep it saved in your notes so that you're not stressing when you're driving down the road going, oh my gosh, they asked me, I'm gonna have to wait till I get home. I don't know what to do. Don't text and drive. And I'm saying, like, if you're in the car. And then let's see, if there's someone that you kind of know, have them add yourself to their phone add themselves to your phone as a contact. And then one thing Lori is talking about, especially with your team blowing up like it has been, use your Friday pay to reinvest into your business. So she and her husband take those BBBs and they take that money and they'll flip it back in. Jenny, oh my gosh, I get to meet you. Hi. Nice to see you. Not much. Good to see you. So take those Friday pays that you get and reinvest it into your company. Use it as a contest, use it to buy brochures, use it to further your business. So that's kind of one thing that she did. And then let's see some other things. Let's see. Those are kind of the basic deals. And you know what? Another thing she does is, what Sonia does is, if she's listening to two people, let's say they're at the grocery store and you're over, in the grocery aisle, and you hear a lady say, oh my gosh, I just wish I could get a full 8 hours of sleep. Like I just can't even, as women, we're super social. So it may be a little bit harder for guys, but kind of like what I would do. I might walk up and go, oh my gosh, I heard you talking about getting sleep. I was in the same boat you were. I cannot tell you how many nights I suffered with just trying to fall asleep. And then you're going to tell, if she gives you the look like, okay, psycho, walk away, then you're going to be like, have a great day, and walk off. But if she looks at you and she starts engaging and she's talking about it, just say, you know what? I never got a great night's sleep. Only if it's true, don't lie. Until I started on Plexus. Have you ever heard of it? And she may go, yeah, I heard of it. And you can say something like, well, I got the probiotic, which is amazing. And I take it right at bedtime and it helps me sleep and I don't wake up all foggy. I mean, just kind of sort of tell your story like you would be talking to your best friend. And then, and see what they say. If they're like, are you kidding me? And I would say something like, you know what? It has a 60-day money back guarantee. So when I signed up to get my products, I was so excited to know that I could get all of my money back if it didn't work for me. And that speaks to some people, and you'll kind of know if they're looking at you like you're crazy, or if they're like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I would die for 8 hours of sleep. And you can just say, oh my gosh, well, I have a card right here. I've got a brochure in my car. I can bring it to you and give it to you. Just pop your email address into my phone real quick, and just sort of, you can read people and kind of get a feel for what they're wanting. And they're talking about weight loss, and just say something like, oh my gosh, I remember when I wanted to lose weight and I tried everything, and Plexus is the only thing that helped me get 36 pounds off this body, and I was so excited. Have you ever heard of it? And just sort of talk like that. And then one thing Sonya does is she'll say something like, you know what, and if you overhear two people talking about something and you're like, oh my gosh, Plexus, it would totally help. I don't want to walk out of the store. Just give me the strength, God, to talk to this woman because we can help her. You can just walk up and go, hey, I totally wasn't eavesdropping, but I sort of heard you talking about blah, blah, blah. And if I had something that might help what you're dealing with, would you be interested? I mean, it's like you could try it for 60 days and get your money back. And like, I'm sorry, I totally, just try to play it off like that. But it works for people. Sometimes, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's the answer I've been looking for. And again, you might get I'm calling security because you look like a freak. But sometimes you may, especially with a mom, and you're like, oh, I know I have no energy at the end of the day with my kids, but I found this stuff called Edge that Plexus sells. It is amazing. You want to hear about it? Let me tell you about it. And just, keep a brochure in your purse or your truck or whatever you guys do. And then, Dina, I'm going to unmute you, and I want you to tell them that story about the time that you called me and you were talking so fast I could not slow you down. And I was kind of proud of you because I talk fast too, but you were super excited about someone that had talked about Plexus and you totally made them wait about the car. Can you tell that story real quick?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I believe that you're talking about a lady that I saw at the grocery store, and I had on a Plexus shirt, and I happened to have some samples in my car, and she commented on my shirt, and she said, just love that shirt. It's so cute. What is Plexus? And I said, oh, let me just tell you what Plexus is. So we have a girl on our team named Christy, and she taught me a lesson one day. She said, if you can, at the beginning of the week, stick 5 Plexus Slims in your purse or in your bag, your travel bag, whatever you use, in your police car, and keep them with you just so that you can give someone a sample of it, because you never know if you hand someone a packet of Slim just for them to try, you can change their life. So is that what you were talking about, Amber?
Yeah, because you called me and you said that you told this girl you were going to go out to your car, and if I go out and get you this, will you promise me you'll try it? Like, you were so excited about it. And I just think that's amazing, because people like might stop you and ask about it, especially if you have a Plexus shirt or you have a Plexus hat or something on. People want to know what it is. They're like, what is that? And so that's why it's so important to have that little 30-second elevator speech, so that if someone asks you, you're not like, you can literally tell them something and say, oh girl, it was life-changing for me, or whatever your little thing is. And keep it casual and don't pounce on them like a leopard or something, but just, keep them engaged and sort of just tell them, like, this was amazing for me. It changed everything. And I don't know. I just think being relatable, I think as long as I've been in the business, I think I wish I would have been more about relationships in the beginning. I don't know if anyone agrees with that, but to me, it was sort of all about just trying to maintain the chaos. And I sort of kind of got lost in trying to just continue those relationships and sort of just be about wanting to help them and wanting to be interested in them. And that's why now I kind of reach out to people. If I see something on a post that's somebody that's never asked me about Plexus, I'll comment and just say, your kids are so cute. I just love watching them. And they'll say something. And a couple of times I've done that. And someone said, I've been meaning to talk to you about Plexus. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it really works. All of these diamonds are telling us to do that. And somebody actually asked me about it by just me making a comment on their post. So I hope all of that made sense. And for Jimmy, I recorded this, so you can kind of go back and listen to it. But we were sort of talking about how to talk about Plexus to strangers, or how to kind of bring up the conversation. And now I want to bring Sherry in. I don't know if any of you know her. Just kidding. I want her to talk about how to convert customers. I think it's very important that we try to show customers that we've had, if we know they're having those amazing results and we're checking in with them every 3 to 5 days or whatever works for you, and you're hearing them come back and go, oh my gosh, best sleep ever, or oh my gosh, I'm down 5 pounds, or whatever it is, that we, number one, praise them. We're super excited for them. And then number two, that we try to tell them, well, you know what, you've been retail for this long. How about we get you over to preferred, or you've been preferred for 3 months. You could be getting your product so much cheaper. So Sherry's got this little speech thing, and I want her to talk about how to convert. I think it's super important. So go ahead, Sherry.
Well, I think first, before you get to that point, I think that converting a customer actually starts from the day you start talking to them about Plexus. I think that you should always set the expectation for them for what they can expect over the next 30 days, the next 60 days from the beginning. So as the process unfolds, they knew exactly what to expect. And so with that said, I stay, and a lot of you have watched me do this over the last few weeks, but with a new customer, one of the very first things I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm watching the back office for when their package is going to be delivered of their products. And as soon as I know those products are delivered, I'm going to be checking with them and asking them, did you receive your products? And then I'm going to blow it up and make it all exciting. And I'm going to share with them how to start their products. And then on week 1, I'm going to be back following up with them. And of course, staying with them if I need to during that time. But at week 1, I'm going to make sure I have touched base with that person, that I know what's happening with them. I'm helping them tweak anything they might need to be tweaked with. I'm going to stick with them on week 2. And on week 3, by week 3, you're going to know. They're going to be telling you, I'm awesome sleep. I lost 10 pounds, whatever. And you're going to kind of know which direction this is going. But
Christina!
But at week 3, by week 3, I'm going to start talking to that retail customer, that preferred customer, about upgrading to either the preferred status or to become a wholesale ambassador. But if you get past week 3 and they get to that second month of ordering, then as time goes on, you're going to be less likely to be able to actually upgrade them. So at week 3 is where you want to start talking to them. Can I share my screen, Amber? Do you know?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, let me try this. So I have, and some of you, well, hold on, let me get back here. Some of you have probably seen this because I've sent it to you. This is, and I can send it to anyone that wants it, that does not have it. But this is what I do on week 3. I'm either talking to them and I'm saying this, or I'm sending this in a message, and depending on where they're at. So if they're preferred and they're trying to, and we want to upgrade them to an ambassador, I'm just saying, hi, I hope you're having a great week. And y'all can follow along. I'll read this. I know it's about time to reorder your products, so want to discuss an option with you. I know you are loving your products and just wanted to make sure I let you know about the opportunity to get them even cheaper. It's only $34.95 per year to be a wholesale ambassador, sort of like a Costco Sam's membership. And then you'll get your products for even cheaper. And you can set up an auto order or just order in your back office as needed. When you join, you'll be set up with a website. So if you ever do have someone interested in ordering, they can go order from you and you can get paid on their orders. But you don't have to by any means sell. The opportunity will just be available to you if you decide to. There are no quotas, no hidden fees. Let me know before you reorder so I can flip you over to an ambassador so you can get your products cheaper. Now, if you're retail, you could throw in this little section that just, you also have the option to convert to a preferred customer to get your products cheaper than what you initially paid for them since you purchased retail. With preferred, you must set up an auto ship, but you can cancel that auto ship at any time and receive the products at even a cheaper cost. Let me know which route you would like to go, or if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you. And then throw in, you purchase your products on this date, your products will take 3 to 5 days to arrive, so don't wait too long so that you won't have a lapse in your products. Simple as that. We've had I'm going to unshare just a second. Let's see if I can fix, there it is. And what we have found, especially over the last few weeks with a lot of customers, is that within the first 2 weeks, they're loving their products. Most of you you've experienced this, and they're asking you. You're not even getting to that point. But if they get to that point, or like Amber was saying, they're telling you what awesome results they're having. You can start talking to them right then at week 2 about, we do have this option that you can upgrade to become an ambassador. And let them know. And Bruce and I were talking about this today. It's in your excitement too. Your excitement, when your excitement shows through and you let them know that this is a great opportunity, and you don't have to do what I'm doing, but you absolutely could get your products at a cheaper discounted cost, and you're going to make money back at the same time. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Right.
So I think a lot of it has to do with how you're approaching them and in your attitude. But at week 3, you want to start talking about upgrading those to either a preferred or a wholesale ambassador, or hopefully a business builder. Mm-hmm. We've had a few of those lately too.
Yeah. And now, don't you agree? I think it's so nice that we have that option to be able to upgrade them in our, on their page, instead of having to call and hold, get somebody to call them. And then, I remember we had to during the whole crazy back office debacle, we had to just tell people, okay, just totally cancel out everything and just re-sign up as a new whatever. It was crazy. So now the options are so much easier to be able to fix that. So that's a good thing too.
Easy.
What about, Sherry, what if you have someone who is a preferred customer? How long, if they come to you and they're like, well, I'm still not having, great result, or I haven't noticeable, results yet, but I'm still kind of staying on it, so I don't want to do anything yet. How do you respond to the, not negative, but to the no? What do you say to them when they're like, nah, I don't think I want to be an ambassador. I don't want to change that. What do you say?
At that point, I'm basically, my words, most of you know this, I'm going to say no worries. I understand where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. And I will continue to check in with you, and that's what I will do. They will go right back on my schedule. I will continue to follow up with them every week and in between if need be. And when I get to month 2, which would be week 7, I'm going to do the same thing all over again. Mm-hmm. But I'm also going to know kind of where they're at. Mm-hmm. You absolutely don't want to get to month 3 without having them start, to really be considering upgrading.
Right. Awesome. Do any of you have questions about anything about that, or anything about approaching new people? I'm going to unmute the people. I can't see your face. So if you have a question, you could say something.
I think, Christina, did you have one that you just was working with?
Yeah. I'm trying to think who it was. I know that Casey was the one that she was training for her marathon.
Right.
And she was having problems, she said, during her workouts. She wasn't having enough energy to get through her workouts. So she was going to hold off for now, but she was very pleased with the amount of endurance and stuff that she got through her daily activities. Mm-hmm. So she likes the products, but right now, just timing-wise, I'm hoping that she'll continue with the products, but she was going to go to the doctor and get some blood work done, and I need to follow up with her and check to see what kind of results she got from her blood work. Mm-hmm. To try to keep her on it.
And we like you were talking about earlier, Christina and I both have continued that relationship with her too. Mm-hmm. We're cheering her on because what she's doing is it's awesome. Yeah. So we just are continuing to cheer her on. And but that was the one that you were trying to upgrade.
Okay. Yeah.
So she'll be one that we'll hang on to for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think another thing that I try to do, I know I have a girl who is in the Navy and she's in Italy, Navy, Yeah, it's a Navy. And she had been asking me about Plexus, and she ordered like the Slim Accelerator combo. And so she's been on it for 2 months. And so I don't know if you guys do this, but this is something I do after a full month on the product. Like, of course, I'll check in after they get it, just kind of like Sherry was going through. But after a full month on the product, I'll check in with them and say, hey, I know you're on the Slim and the Accelerator. How's it working for you? And if they say something like, oh, it's great, I love it, I'll be like, awesome. Are you on a multivitamin, or are you interested in the probiotic? I'd love to talk about that. And if they say, you know what, I really not. So it's not that I'm trying to upsell them, but I'm trying to show them there's more out there than just the Slim and the Accelerator. So maybe they might want to try the new Edge if they need more of an energy boost, or maybe they want to try, our protein P96. So I try to always introduce something new to them. And then if they say, well, I'm kind of on this Accelerator, so I don't know. And I'm always telling them, well, we can swap that out if you're, not getting the results you see and you want to try something else. Hello, Cameron. We can add boost, or we can add, whatever to it. So I always try to tell them something, new or a different one. Nope. So that's kind of something I try to do too. So do any of you have questions about anything completely unrelated to all of this?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually, it's for Rebecca. Rebecca, you're going to have to help me. She's got a potential that's where does she live? She's not in the United States. I remember.
Oh, no.
Where?
She lives in Puerto Rico.
Oh, Puerto Rico. Did we ship there? Amber, you're muted somehow. How did she get muted?
I told my son to leave, and I muted myself. I'm sorry. I was like, did you see me doing the ventriloquist? Get out of the room, or I'm going to spank your butt. Get out of my room. I'm in the office. I'm taking a call. Sorry. Say again.
She's got a potential in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Do you know if we ship there or what happens?
I can look while y'all are talking, because we have that on our, I had this question before. Hold on.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourself.
I called and they said that they do ship there.
Oh, good.
They said as long as the U.S. Postal Service ships there, they ship there. And they ship to like Australia and Canada and some other places, as long as they have, I forget what word they used, but they have something there. So as long as they have that there, they ship there.
Okay.
So they did say that they will ship to Puerto Rico.
Did they verify if they could sign up as an ambassador? Or just
They said, yes, they said that was fine as well.
Okay.
Okay, good. Well,
Awesome.
She got the answer.
Okay, great. Good. Yeah, my girl in Italy, like I was worried about that too, because she's from Willis, Texas. So I was like, well, I can ship it to your mom, and then your mom can ship it to you, or how do you want to do that? And I ended up calling them, and so I know Italy, but there is something on our website that shows what countries, because you can select it, so it'll show you. So that's something. Okay, anyone else have questions? Anybody? Nobody? Okay. Do you have anything to add, Sherry? I know we're kind of like, we have like 15 minutes, or we have about 12 minutes or so. Do y'all want to talk about anything else?
I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I know, me too. I keep looking at my notes.
I don't know. You guys have any questions? Jimmy, you're quiet. Uh-oh, he's muted.
Jimmy's always quiet.
I'm just so glad to meet this Jimmy. Like you're kind of like this enigma. It's the policeman that knows everyone. So I'm like, yay, he's on our call.
It sounds like Josh knows everybody.
Oh, he does. You haven't met Joshua yet either. Joshua. Listen to me calling you Joshua. Josh, excuse me.
Hey, at least you're not in your pajamas today, right?
True. Yeah, I made a very wonderful first impression by being in my jammies for our very first Zoom call. But hey,
that's so funny. I love it.
Right?
What'd you say, Bruce? You look like you said something really witty.
So that's kind of how we started every day. Today, I finally had to tell her, it's like, look, I have to go take a shower, because if somebody, like, I have to feel like I'm a real person at least, so I can be productive. So
absolutely.
I got up and started going on. It was crazy time all day, so it was like, I got to take 5. Like, until I look homeless.
I sent
Love
something
it.
to Bruce, and he goes, "Yeah, well, as soon as I've had my coffee, you know."
That's so funny.
Oh, geez.
It's been nonstop.
That's funny. Okay.
I do want to say that
Yeah.
we've had a tremendous amount of people that have joined us this past month, and it's been extraordinary. Josh has had a great month. Yesterday, Rebecca had that one from out of the blue, which was just awesome. Misty's working super hard, and Jimmy, and like it's a lot of people have been having like good success. I just want to make sure that customers are very good for our business. Preferred customers are great for sustaining what we're doing. So don't take it as a negative if somebody chooses that. Some people, are just not meant for the business. I think if you look at it from another angle, if somebody takes it and they're not wanting to do the business and they do the preferred side, if they drop off later on, that is not somebody that you have to worry about replacing. Maybe replace them for your PV, but you won't really need to replace them for range purposes. So preferred customers are not a bad thing. And we're not going to assign everybody. So if you get a preferred customer, that's a great thing. And besides, when those folks decide to move over to the ambassador side, I think your chances of having those folks stay long term are actually stronger than somebody that just jumps on from the beginning, which I don't want to say no to those people either. But, my sister-in-law signed up preferred customer today, and she was a little disappointed, and I was trying to explain it to her. It's like, let her be a customer at first, and you'll make some money from her. And then in a few weeks, when she realizes what she has and she becomes an ambassador, she'll be that much stronger for you.
True.
And probably a whole lot more likely to stay around.
Right.
So, I don't want anybody to get the feeling that a customer is not as good as an ambassador. I mean, I think we need customers to keep this business rolling right along as it is. And then when you do get an ambassador, then, hey, good for us, and we'll grow them as well.
Isn't that amazing? That like the mindset of this team is that I want to grow my team. I mean, that's something that you have to go to all of these corporate events to get in your head. So I think that's amazing that she's kind of bummed that she didn't get an ambassador. Like most of us are like, oh, I would just kill for a customer. So that's a huge testament in the way you guys are training your people. Another thing I want to say to that, if she brings that up again, is the fact that sometimes people, like what you said, they're not cut out for the business end of it. And do you really want to sign someone up that's an ambassador that maybe 2 weeks later is like, this isn't for me, I'm done. And you've lost that ambassador, you've lost those potential 5 points. Whereas if you had them as a customer, it wouldn't be so hard to let them go if they decided it wasn't for them. So I think that's great that the mindset is already, let's just get this team, going. Because I mean, look what they have to look up to. Look what she has to mirror her team against, which is what you guys have all done. So I think that's amazing. I think that's great that she's kind of bummed that she didn't get an ambassador. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, our team I've been wild every single day. And every day somebody impresses me more, and I see something that, I learned a long time ago not to judge anybody at first glance, see what they got, because those will be the ones that surprise you the most. And I'm telling you, every single day somebody does something and I'm just like, wow, like that is just incredible. Somebody has great success, or they post, or they have a great story. And it's been every single day this month has just been it's been amazing. Like what the experience this month has been. And I hope that the rest of the group sees what kind of phenomenal things can happen if you are consistent and stay with it, and you lean on each other and ask questions, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And if you do the system, it's super simple and it's really easy, and speak the truth, and it works, and it works amazingly well.
Yeah. I agree with it. And I think we have such a great group of people that do rely on each other. And I know with, I think it was when we were in Dallas this past weekend for our hockey tournament, I think it was you, Christina, that we were in a group chat, and you just sent it. And I was like, oh yeah. And I just sent the information. And I love that about us. I love that even if I have a level 10, that's not going to make me a dime. I'm just as excited for their success as I am a 1, 2, 3, or 4 where I'm going to get the most points or whatever. But I also want you all to know, and I say this every time, and I'm sure Sherry's like, oh my gosh, but like if any of you need anything from any of your upline and they don't respond immediately, I mean, we all have lives. I get that. You know, I'm the crazy one that responds pretty quick. If I don't respond within like 5 minutes, I'm probably in a ditch somewhere, and you should probably call Jimmy or another police officer because something's happened to me because it's attached to the hip. So message me or get my phone number. And if I mean, literally at the hockey game, like, I mean, I'll just check my phone and I'll see something and I'll, you know, respond really quick, or I'll say at the game, can't respond, let me look at it later. But we're all here to help all of you guys. So I want you all to know how accessible I hope we make ourselves for y'all. And so I think that's huge. I think it's a huge bonus for being in a company like this, that we're all accessible. It's not like, oh, I shouldn't ask her. I should just wait to hear from my sponsor. Well, your sponsor might be taking a, you know, shower, or she may not, you know, be readily available, and message someone if you have somebody on the phone. Let me get back to you really quick. Let me, you know, message 4 people at the same time. And if they all respond, awesome. You've got answers. So I just love that about us.
We're all the sponsors, I think, is what I would like for them to see. It's not just me to them or Sherry to me. It's I think your entire upline is your sponsor, and I think, you know, the success of one is the success of all of us, you know. So I think that's what sells our business. I think it's what makes us incredible, you know. It's like we all can benefit from each other. So
I agree.
learn that part. So
yeah, for sure.
I just thought of something else too, with what Bruce was saying. You know, as far as customers go, when you add customers this month, next month, those customers you can start talking to about upgrading. But then the following month, you're going to want to be adding more new customers, so you have more new customers the following month to start upgrading. So I do agree with Bruce completely that customers are huge for our business. We want customers too. So that's and we want to celebrate. Realize that if you're getting customers, we may not know about it unless you tell us. So we don't get emails for that. So let us know when you get new customers, because we want to celebrate that with you too.
Definitely. And I love that you guys tag us on your posts, because I cannot stress the third-party validation thing more. I love that. Like, there's sometimes when I'm just like, love my pink, and I'm like, you know, about to run out the door. And then there's times that I'm able to like sit down and do something. But I mean, I love that we're all getting tagged on that, because we can, and then always hop on our team page and post something like, hey, I just posted about blah, blah, blah. Can somebody hop over on my deal and comment? Like, we're happy to do that. You're more than welcome to do that to any of our pages. So I love that too. Okay, so do you guys have any other questions? You do, wave. No. So while you guys were talking, I put all of you in one of those random name picker things, contest pick deals. And so I'm going to show you who the winner is. So, Jim.
he was late.
I think you made that up.
No, seriously, I didn't look. Here's all the list of people.
I just set up.
He should be penalized for being late.
I have to be on the call the entire time.
Just so you know, he's late.
Bruce, you're not running your mouth, are you? I know where you live.
I said,
Josh, you know where he lives too, so you can take care of him better.
Go team up on him. Jimmy, do you have brochures at all? Have you ever ordered brochures?
I have the catalogs.
Okay, you do have the catalogs.
Yeah, I ordered those.
Okay. Let me think of something else. Why don't you pick, let's see. Have you tried all the products? Like, have you tried all the products? No.
I actually want to try the block.
Okay, you got it. I'm going to send you the block. Message me your address, and I will send the block to you as a gift for being on the call.
Sherry, why are you all happy there? You look all happy. As soon as I said that, you got all happy.
I'm like, oh, he's going to try block. Yay.
I figure if Christina's got it, I need to try it.
It's
awesome.
Okay.
Oh, look at Chris. She looks fabulous, doesn't she?
I know. How are you feeling?
I'm a little sore still, but doing good. I got a boot to wear for 2 to 3 weeks, but it's all good. No broken bones.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm just happy that my boys are okay.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I am too. I was like, we were in our hotel room at the hockey thing when I got that message. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I like immediately started texting. I'm like, I don't care if she's in the hospital. I have to find out if she's okay. So I'm so glad everybody was okay. I mean, I know you're banged up, but that would be my first deal too, is how are the boys, as a mom.
Bruce was right there at the ER with me when it happened.
Awesome.
That's great. Well, I'm so glad you're okay. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the call. And us leaders will get together this week and figure out what our next topics are going to be. I know some people are doing, oh, hang on. I see you, Michelle. Are you waving at me, Michelle Johnson? Okay. I saw your finger. I'm like, she needs to talk. So we'll talk about what our next topics are going to be, and then get with your upline if you have ideas for topics that you want to hear about, or, I'm sure it's something that we could all go over, but we have some ideas in the hopper. So let me know. And is everyone still okay with this time and day? Is that working for you guys? Tuesdays, 8:15?
Yeah, this Tuesday coming up, I work this week because I'm on vacation. So
You're on vacation all the time, Bruce. Come on.
Hey, come on now. I'm working a lot. But this Tuesday, I won't be on the call because I will be back to work this Tuesday. I should be back the following week.
Okay.
This happens to be the weird week for me where my days off are being used now. So
okay.
Tuesday I'll be at work.
Gotcha. Perfect. Well, I will go ahead.
I'll check my calendar. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Just tell Jimmy to hush it because some people have to work for a living.
Oh, whatever.
Actually, work for a living.
This is so much fun. Like, I love the male energy thing. We like never had that. It's just a bunch of girls gabbing. This like takes it to all.
I do want to thank.
That's why we're gonna have to cut these meetings a little shorter, though. You guys talking a lot.
I do have to thank Jimmy there for getting me into this. I've known Jimmy since I was a little kid.
Really?
Oh, wait a minute now. I'm not that old.
Jimmy for getting me into it. You're a lot older than me.
Oh, thanks.
This is so much fun.
I'm sorry, cream for his face or anything, or
You just keep